Welcome, everyone. We are Cindy and Jens Brinteson, and we are so thrilled to be with you tonight and to be hosting the first part of the Zoom tonight, which is going to be a technology and an opportunity overview of this amazing little patch called the X39. We have been using this patch for 3 years, and we just had our 3-year anniversary. And our life has been radically impacted from this tiny little patch. And all we have done for 3 years is peel the back off of this sticker and place it somewhere on our body. And the heat of our body has activated this little patch. What's inside of it? It's just ground organic plant particles and sugar and salt. And as we wear the patch during the day, it has been just giving us a natural reboot. So the heat of our body activates it, it becomes like a little light, and it is reflecting the infrared light that we actually emit from through our tissue. It is reflecting it back into our tissue. And at that time, there's a specific peptide that is elevated called the copper GHK peptide. And then the rest is science. So our light reflected off of this patch is elevating a peptide that naturally, when it's re-elevated, is going to reactivate our very own stem cells, our very own collagen. It doesn't get much better than that. Reduce inflammation. And we know that through the patent that you're going to see in a few minutes, that it also has covered in it age reversal, because as our body is actually being stimulated to repair itself through our own light, through the elevation of the peptide, what is taking place is that we are receiving just reversal and repair throughout our system. We have experienced such amazing testimonies, and we know that some of you are on tonight, and this is the very first time you're hearing about this patch. You're hearing about the X39 technology, and we are so glad that you're here. And we have so many on that have so many testimonies. We have lost count, haven't we?
Oh my gosh, there's hundreds, I guess thousands actually.
Yes, and so many times we call it our little miracle patch. So what has been so amazing for us is some of us have had testimonies right away, and others it takes weeks. Why? We don't know, because the patch is working, but everybody's body responds differently. Some are doing some inner healing and repairing that aren't feeling. So on the very first day that I wore the patch, I actually slept really well that night, and I was not a good sleeper. I was awake a lot, which meant I kept him awake a lot. And in about 3 weeks, he was noticing an improvement of energy. And then after that, um, he went to the dentist. Jens went to the dentist, and the dentist is like, "What is going on with you? Because you're scheduled for gum recession surgery, but there's something going on. Your numbers have improved. It looks like your gums are reversing." All we can say is this patch doesn't treat, heal, or cure. We don't know who's going to get what when, but if you stick with it, you will begin to see your testimonies. And sometimes we don't feel them. I didn't feel my mental clarity improving. There are so many things that we've all experienced, and sometimes they're obvious and sometimes they're not. Sometimes other people recognize them before we do. Like many people were saying, "Oh my goodness, your skin is so changing. Like you look younger than you were before." And we're, like, "What are you doing?" And we're like, "Well, all we're doing is peeling this sticker and wearing it every day, and it's just doing its thing while I go on about my life." And so as we begin to share with you, we are going to simply share a PowerPoint that anyone can do. There's nothing special here about us. We just happen to be the ones presenting tonight, and you can just follow along with us. If you can read and you can look at pictures, you can do what we're doing. And so here we are. Gonna begin with the PowerPoint and the slide that you saw. I love this opening slide we used because the key point is everyone needs this patch. Everybody needs the benefits, but no one knows about it. And this is it. So we're going to have a special guest on tonight in about 20 minutes. So you hang with us while we share with you how you can get your product at wholesale and how does this patch work. So how does the X39 work? Well, I already shared with you that it is a patented nanocrystal technology. That's the sugar, salt, and the ground plan particles. The patch is non-transdermal. That just means nothing goes out of that patch. There are no drugs, no chemicals, no stimulants. It is non-invasive. And when we placed it on our body, it is going to reflect light to activate the things in our body that were very active and elevated when we were youthful and actually just healthier, right? And so as we age, we all need this, and it's a proprietary form of phototherapy. So this patent is my favorite because in this patent, it states what I said at the beginning of this Zoom, that when we wear this patch, there is an elevation of a copper peptide, including the activation of your own stem cells. This is your stem cells. There are no stem cells in this patch. There are no stem cells going in your body. It's literally reflecting your own light that will elevate your peptide, and the rest is science. Your stem cells are reactivated. So that's a very cool thing. And this patent also covers age reversal.
All right. Why would I want to wear the X39 patch? Well, as you age, the fewer stem cells you have. I always say, when you're 20, you feel like you're bulletproof. And then when you get 30, you find out, well, we found out, we didn't know this before, but half our stem cells are active. That's why you start feeling an ache or a pain or whatever. At 60, you pretty much lost all your stem cell activity. So that's why you want to wear this. And, as Cindy says, this thing goes into your body. And we don't know what it's going to heal. It may go to your brain, your heart, your kidneys, your skin. Who knows?
It begins a
It
repair work.
begins, and people say, "How long does this take to work?" Well, it starts to work immediately. You may not see the results for days or weeks, but it works right away.
And how it's working again is it's stimulating your own body to do what God intended it to do, and that's to keep itself healthy and repair.
How do we wear this thing? Well, you wear it 12 hours a day, 12 hours off. I always like to say here too, this is the simplest thing you'll ever do. You're not swallowing pills. You're not drinking liquids that don't taste good. You're not, injections or whatever. You simply just, it's like a sticker or a Band-Aid. You just stick it on and that's it.
Right.
So you wear it 12 hours, you throw it away. And drink plenty of water because you should be doing that anyway. But the more hydrated you are, the better this patch is going to work.
That's right. And the patch in the case studies is always placed in the same position,
Yes.
either under the belly button or at the base of the back of the neck, but you could put the patch anywhere.
Benefits of X39. Oh my goodness, there's literally hundreds. This is just a small little thing that these are the things people see, usually fairly quickly. Not all of them, but
Yes.
increased strength, reduced inflammation, increased stamina. Cindy and I are both in our 70s, and we've had all these, and it's amazing. We don't feel 70 or even 60. So
No.
energy and vitality, mental clarity, the brain fog thing. Like you said, you walk in the room and say, what did I come here for? So, that goes away. That's great. Restored muscle or skeletal conditions, improvement of sleep. Sleep is something that's very vital. If we don't get our sleep, everything else comes
That's
apart.
right.
So, improvement of skin appearance. And, the long-term results of this, well, in the first few days, like I always say, 4,000 genes begin to reset. And what's crazy about that, as you age, you have genes that turn on that you wish would stay off and genes that go off that you wish to stay on. Your brain becomes balanced in 6 weeks. These are all case studies on this. 3 months, your collagen's increased. This is your own collagen. This isn't lotions, potions, or pills that you're
That's right.
swallowing or smearing on or
And
whatever.
it's not expensive like they are.
No, this is the best collagen you will ever
That's
get.
right.
6 months, your heart reverses in age, and we've seen that personally with friends. And so it's not anti-aging, it's actually age reversing. And that's according to David Smith, the inventor of this product.
So we love this case study. This is a part of the case study for the brain. And the participant we're looking at is a 77-year-old woman. In session one, she does not have a patch on. Look at the topography of her brain. The red signifies inflammation of the brain, a lack of brain coherence, and her brain is hyperactive. 3 weeks after wearing the patch in session two, there is no more inflammation of her brain, improved brain coherence, and look at 6 weeks in session three. There is a complete turnaround, better brain coherence, and her brain has calmed down. If your brain is doing this, so is the rest of your body. So the things that we're saying tonight about the technology, it can all be found. And our team is called This Is It Team. And we have a site with all the information, and it's www.thisisitinfo.com. We always encourage people, just go watch the first couple of videos. They're 2 and 3 minutes long. They explain, just like we have, how does the patch work and what is phototherapy. It's all right there. It's so simple. Don't make it difficult. The most important thing that we can say is take this patch, peel it, stick it on your body, wear it 12 hours, and go on about your life and see what happens in your life in the next 6, 12 months and beyond. So the X39 is so sophisticated and yet so simple to explain. The testimonies have been so life-changing and emotional. The best thing about the X39 is it absolutely works. We shared with you some of our testimonies when we first opened the Zoom tonight, and Jens was going over the benefits and sharing, there were a lot of things on that benefit page that we saw within the first 6 or 7 months. And so everybody's different. Some are going to see something right away. My baby sister was 5 or 6 weeks before she experienced her first testimony, and it was her restless leg syndrome improving. And so the most important testimony, this is what I want you to hear right now. The most important testimony we could hear right now is if you are someone new, what testimony you're going to get. That's the most valuable testimony to us tonight. So how can you get your product at wholesale and get started on your journey to seeing what you're going to receive? Well, this is it. The person who invited you tonight thought a lot about you. They want you to receive what they're receiving. And to get the product at wholesale, you're just going to take this enrollment form, choose what package fits your budget best. There are 3 packages. The premium package on the far right is $1,750. It has 20 sleeves. And that gives you the best buy. That's what that's all about. If you're wanting to share with others, it gives you inventory so that you can, when someone enrolls and they live near you, they're local, you can loan them a sleeve. And when theirs comes in, you can get yours back. The second package down is the advanced package. That would be 6 sleeves for $535. A sleeve has 30 of these patches inside of it. That lasts one person 30 days. So you're going to have a few extra sleeves with the advanced too. So that allows you to be able to help others get started by loaning them. We don't give a sleeve away. We don't retail it. We might patch them with one patch and just help them to get their product, because I want them to know you're not going to get a full testimony in one patch. I just want you to feel that nothing weird is going to happen. And then the most expensive package is called the core. And that's for someone who says, I just want to try it. That's all I want to do today. And that's $295 for 3 sleeves. So that would cover 2 or 3 people in the house for that month. Now, there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. So I call this a no risk, a no-brainer. I've been a healthcare professional for 50 years. I have never seen the health and wellness that we are seeing today. So I say to everyone, this is what I lead with. This is the most important thing I can do for my body today. You can also get a monthly subscription order. One sleeve is going to allow you to stay active. We'll explain that to you on the next page. And two sleeves is going to allow you to earn all of the income, receive all the income that you've earned. So how do you deal with this form? You just fill it out and give it to the person who invited you. They will enroll you, they will position you, and they will make sure that you get your product at wholesale, not retail. You want it at wholesale, and that comes with filling out this enrollment form.
All right, David Smith. He's the genius behind all this stuff, behind the X39, and he has over 200 patents. To me, that's quite amazing. I don't have any, so I mean, I know people that have one or two, and I thought that was a lot, but 200, that's just he's just knocked it out of the ballpark.
Yes,
He's a scientist. He's an inventor. He specialized in age reversing. In 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research, and 10 years and $4.5 million later, he brought this patch to market. Oh,
He is probably one of the most amazing people that we've ever met. We have enjoyed getting to know him so much, and I think we've learned so much from him too, haven't
yeah,
we,
for
John?
sure. And this company's 20 years old, so there is also a business opportunity attached to this product too, if you so desire.
And
So
business opportunity means you can start by getting your enrollment package paid for in the first 2, 3, 4 weeks that you've enrolled, or you can go above and beyond and earn a crazy income. And the reason is David Schmidt has a heart to help bless as many families as we can.
So this is a 20-year-old company, so it's not a startup. So that, this company has roots. It's been around a while, and it's open in over 75 countries. What I love about it, if you're looking to share this product, it's not what we call a Me Too product, which weight loss, skincare, or whatever. You spend your day explaining why your skincare and your supplements are better than the next guy's. Well, anyway, the company itself is on fire, literally. This company went from 20 million in 2021. Our teamwork got involved in 22, and they took this thing to 320 million that year, and last year we closed at over 600 million, and this year we looked to close out at over $1 billion. And I need to say that our teamwork is 55% of the whole LifeWave company, and we've only been involved 3 years.
And again, our
So
teamwork is called This Is It Team.
so Lifeway has been awarded #1 growth company. Why is this company #1? Really, because it has a product that works and is helping
That's right.
so many people. And I mean, that's how you know it works. I mean, companies don't get to be a billion-dollar company by selling stuff that doesn't work. So, you know,
And
it,
this is a picture of David Schmidt, Gina Merritt, my baby sister, and Meredith Burkich, who is the president of LifeWave, and Steve Merritt, her husband, my brother-in-law. So Steve and Gina are the head of our team. This is it team. And so we are all pulling out the stops to help as many families as we can right now. And so we want to ask you, what's the most important thing in your life? We know that all of these were important to us and our family to have family time, security, travel, better health. But the key is really to get ourselves out of debt so we can have that financial freedom and choose when we do these other things. And so that is the heart of the team and the company. And as Jen said, there is an opportunity to earn income, and it starts right at the beginning. So when you are getting your product, you want to share with everybody that you're thinking of right now, as we mentioned, testimonies that need those same testimonies in their life. And so you offer them whatever package fits their budget. If they come in on a core, you receive a $35 product introduction bonus. If they come in on advanced, $75, premium, $405. So it's just a privilege that we get to take this and share it with the world. The second way to earn income is called team commission. So when I said that you get your position, this is what it looks like. We have a binary over here on the right. So you get them plugged in, and then you invite four friends or friends and family to come with you and to pay, but they have their own skin in the game. They purchase their product at wholesale price too, and they get a position left or right, and you're building a left and a right leg. And so as you're doing that, whoever is getting product every 30 days is considered active. And we get to earn volume, which turns into team commission off of every person who comes in under us, whether we know them or not, as that volume flows up, as long as we are active, meaning we're getting product every 30 days.
All right. The third way to make money is a matching check bonus, and this way here it is totally unlimited. So when you enroll somebody and they make money commission, you get 20 you earn 25% off their commission. And that when that person enrolls somebody, it's 20, and that person enrolls somebody, it's 20. So this can turn into a substantial amount of money.
Yes.
And and it's just like I say, there's no limit on this.
Yes. Well, and I didn't mention on team commission, it does cap out at 25,000 a week. So when Jen says they're substantial, he's talking above and beyond. It can actually become totally crazy, amazing income. And when I said this is it team, we have thisisitInfo.com. That's where the info on the technology is, and thisisitteam.com. So once you get enrolled, if you're wanting to understand, how do I talk to people, or well, how's the comp plan work? It's all in the team site. And our team offers Zooms Monday through Saturday. You can go to YouTube at This Is It Team, and there are live Zooms and there are recorded Zooms. Everything that takes place live is then recorded and available on the YouTube at This Is It Team. And Saturday is amazing training. Last Saturday's training, if you didn't see it, starting at 1:11, 1 hour and 11 minutes, it was off the charts out of Atlanta. It was a little longer, but it was well worth the watch. And again, it's at youtube.com at This Is It Team. So we have a convention once a year. We're so excited about this. We have been working nonstop on this convention with Gina and Steve. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be mind blowing. We've never done one like this one is going to be. It is August 8th through 10th, and it is in Orlando, Florida. You can register or check out the pricing at thisisitconvention.com. And if for some reason you don't want the whole package means you're getting all the training Friday and Saturday, and then the dinner Saturday night, and the optional church service on Sunday morning. If you don't want the room, then you just pay $375. You can get your own room, or maybe you live in Orlando or nearby. So there's a price budget here for everybody. You can put up to 4 people in a room. It has not sold out yet, but it will. And the other thing we're so excited about is on August 7th, on Thursday at 6 p.m., anyone that is presidential or above is invited to a special meeting and training for presidential and above at 6 p.m. And on Friday, August 8th at noon, there is a senior director and above leadership meeting. So don't stop running. Those of you that are already on board and you're building ranks and sharing and blessing others, keep going, because it's not too late. You can hit that rank right as that meeting's starting, and you get to be invited in. We're going to be at the Omni Orlando Resort at Champions Gate. And this morning they announced that there is a new bonus. It's called Give a Boost, Get a Bonus, and it's for a limited time only.
Yeah, yeah, it's just this week. What a great time to do it with the next level coming up. This just gives you more incentive to get out. And I forget, I think you got in the next slide.
Yes, but I wanted to say it does exclude, it said at the bottom there, excludes South Korea, and it's the 21st through the 27th.
All right. So, the company's is willing to, I guess,
above and beyond the bonus we normally get.
These numbers are above and beyond what you would already get. So, the company's willing to pay it. So make them open their checkbook and pay you.
That's right.
This is a great week to do it. You can see the enrollments there advanced. You get an extra $75. So, and premium is an extra $250.
Those are just bonuses extra for this week. This is the generosity of this company.
So right there at advanced, you enroll somebody, you get $150 this week.
Yeah.
Then
75 for your regular bonus and 75 extra.
and then you upgrade for people of different levels. You can see the numbers there, and some of you newer people, you're going to see silver, gold, and bronze, and all that. That's the old levels,
Old kits.
old kit.
We used
Which
to have a different enrollment kit name.
some people there's a few people still have those titles, but
So if you haven't enrolled to maybe the advanced package yet, or you haven't enrolled to the premium package, this is the
yeah.
time to do it this week. You want to get your people and upgrading this week. And these are the US, Mexico, Canada. You can read right there with us. So pretty much everywhere except South Korea.
Mhm.
So that's exciting. We're so excited for people to have the extra opportunity this week to just share and be double blessed. Now, a week from tonight, we are going to be doing a team meeting from 7 to 8 Eastern Standard again. And on that Monday night meeting, we are going to be not only having some extra special guests coming and being with us, but we're also going to have Steve and Gina Merritt joining us. So next week, you want to do everything you can to get the people on board that Zoom. And it will be posted on our Telegram page. And you can copy this link right here if you want, screenshot it, but it'll be on our Telegram page. And someone on your team can help you get that. But this is going to be a really fun power hour. And it's kind of, we're not that far from convention. So we're really blessed that Gene and Steve are even willing to come on with us that night. So now we are going to shift gears. And I am so grateful my husband was here with me for this opportunity Zoom. But we are going to invite a special guest that's going to be with me tonight. And I am going to find and open her up. She is going to be, there you go, Linda. You are becoming co-host. And this is Linda Somersall that's going to be coming on with me now. And she is a presidential director out of Lakeland, Florida. And I am a senior presidential director out of St. Augustine, Florida. So we're so excited to have this little time with you tonight. And it's just been amazing to get to know Linda and Somersall. We have become, you become like dear friends. And the next thing you know, you're kind of like sisters and brothers. It's like family. So it's been such a sweet pleasure. And thank you, Linda, for being on with us. I just want to kind of lay a little foundation so you all know exactly where we're headed for the next 30 minutes. So Linda and I were chatting this week, and we were talking about how so many times our teamwork is saying, okay, I'd like to do a three-way call with my upline, or I'd like to do a Zoom. And what is that all about? Well, that's what we're going to be sharing with you. We're going to be helping you to understand how can you take the best advantage to get teamwork. Maybe it's Linda or Linda and Paul and the person that's newer on your team and yourself. How can we take advantage? Or Jens and I, how do we take advantage of that? So we're going to be talking about that. And, it's just, we're going to do it a couple of different ways, and we're just going to kind of like let it flow. If you have questions, what I want you to do is to put them in the chat box, because in order to keep the recording more clean, that it can be used, we're going to just kind of read it out of the chat box and make sure we cover the things that you're asking. But please give a warm welcome right now to Linda Somersall, dear, dear friend. Thank you, Linda, for being with us tonight.
Well, thanks, Cindy, for having me on. I love to be able to talk to our team because basically we're all here to help each other grow. We don't know everything. We all learn and learn and grow together. That's why I'm so excited about the next level convention coming up, because we're all there. Everybody, every leader and all the rows are always there to take notes. So I hope you'll find value in the importance of a three-way call since that's one of the topics we're going to cover tonight. So Cindy is my direct upline, right? My support person, leader, whatever you want to call. Everybody calls our upline different things, right? It's really our support. And I know the importance of that because I, first of all, utilize that. I don't always depend on it. You have to set it up. You can't just, I'm just going to call Cindy out of the blue and just assume she's not busy when I know she is. So a lot of it has to be something that you pre-plan. It could be just a little conversation. And Cindy's going to go over the importance of it. But I wanted to just kind of set up part of the reason why we do it. And it's to show your new person the importance of them seeing their support out there. And also, you're taking your very busy time with your person and your upline support and condensing it hopefully into maybe a 15, 20-minute conversation, letting them know, look, I have a friend of mine named Cindy, and she's very successful and been wearing these patches longer than I have. I would love for you to hear her story. But, and then what you want to do is you edify that person. You definitely edify to each other. So that way, before you even get on that call, you want to make sure that your person has already looked at a Zoom or has looked at this is it info, because we're not getting on these calls from scratch. We're not there to educate them. The tools do that. We're so blessed to have these tools. So I kind of just want to lay the groundwork a little bit. Cindy, I know you know the importance of that, right? So um, when we're setting up a three-way call, we want to make sure people know that this isn't a call about where you're going to place a patch or I have a pain in my back and what patch should I wear for that? That's not what these calls are about. It's really to help your team grow and for us to come in, support that person, answer their questions by listening to what their questions are. And then at the end, we go over how to get their patches and get them ready to take their order and get them ready and get started. So I don't know if you wanted me to go through that a little bit more, or if you want to just share the importance of all that edification.
Yeah, I think you've done a great job, Linda. Thank you so much. This is why it's so fun just to kind of, go back and forth with each other because sometimes, people catch it when we're telling it. Sometimes they catch it when they're reading it in the team site. They might catch something when we role play. So we're going to do a little of that too. But I just want to comment on what Linda said because if I was going to call Gina and Steve Merritt, who are our sponsors, to do a Zoom with us and one of our team members, I am going to give them heads up. I'm going to schedule it with them, which is tight. I can tell you that. And most importantly, because I feel such honor that they've made the time for me, I want to respect their time. So I love what you just said, Linda, about, what is the point of the Zoom? What is the point of the three-way call? Not everybody does Zooms, so that's why we also offer three-way calls, or maybe we're, traveling or something and don't have the greatest internet. But I think it's so important that we as leaders, and everyone on here tonight is a leader. We see you all as leaders. You should see yourself as a leader. And as leaders, that we, like Linda said, we position the people properly as we're coming about asking for a Zoom. That Zoom is because she said edification. Maybe there's just something that you weren't sure how to handle that question. Sometimes you can just ask. But I think it's really important that we get to come in and that beautiful opportunity to build a new relationship, meet a new person, that's honoring to us and it's such a blessing to us. And to be able to do that, and yet at the same time, um, that, sometimes you end up on a Zoom and somebody's blah, 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 blah. I don't mean that in that way, but you know what I'm saying? They're talking and you don't get to share. And I learned quickly when I was bringing Steve and Gina on, I'm going to have them, they're going to have a little information up front about why we're pulling this Zoom together. And then they're going to be on, and I want them to pour into the person I'm bringing on the Zoom. If this person is new and they're just wanting to see, what kind of support, like Linda said, do I have? Or what is it, what is it that I need to be doing first? If you're newer and you've brought someone on and you're not sure exactly how to help them, get started quickly and be successful, get their first four people, then, it might be something like that. But I love that you set us up that we can come on and be that blessing to whoever is going to be on the Zoom. And we're making, a lot of times I'll use these words. I want to value your time when I'm on, whether it be with a brand new person or I'm on with Steve and Gina Merritt and someone else. I value your time and I respect it. And I want the same here, so that we're all setting the same example. And then we keep the questions to the things that they look through the site and what is it that just that little thing that just didn't make sense or that I really need to know to move forward. And I love it because um, a lot of times, I know Linda and I both do this. We can direct people back to when you're newer and you don't know what's available in the team site, we can direct you back to that. There's so much in the team site, in the school app. And some of you may not even know what I'm talking about right now, and that's okay because you'll learn. But I think you want to kind of do a little play, Linda, of just, you're calling to ask me to do a Zoom, and I'm going to tell y'all this is all ad lib. We do this every day. So we just said we're just gonna wing it, and so you're going to see an all natural here.
Perfect. Okay, so Cindy is my direct upline, and I'll say I have a good friend of mine. Her name is Zoe because I do have a new friend, Zoe, and I'll call or I'll text Cindy ahead of time, and I'll say, "Hi, Cindy, I want to let you know that there's somebody new that I've been speaking with." I'll tell Cindy a little bit about her background. She recently moved to Florida. She has a law degree and has been looking for a new opportunity. And when she saw this, she thought, I want to take a look at that. So I want to make sure that, first of all, Cindy knows. I'm kind of teaching as I'm about to do role play with you, but
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
say,
good
hey,
with it.
Cindy. Yeah, hey, Cindy, I just want to let you know about my friend Zoe. And Thursday seems like I spoke with her today. I asked for two different times that might work for her and for myself. And we both looked at maybe Thursday afternoon around 2, between 2 and 3. And Friday morning is open between noon and 4. Do any of those times work for you, first of all? And then you'll let me know if that time works for you. And then I will verify with Cindy. Cindy, I already spoke with Zoe. She already took a look at This Is It info, and she really is a lot about the science. I've been trying to really make sure that I show her the vision of what's possible besides patching people, and she seems super open to that. And so I'll go ahead now as if I'm calling you, and we've already set it up. Does
Okay.
that sound good? Can we do that? Okay. So I'll be like, um, what I'll do is a couple of minutes before my call with Cindy, I'm going to verify that Zoe is still getting on the call at that same time because we know life happens and I don't want to take Cindy's time. And then I am about to merge my friend in and she doesn't answer. So that's another thing I like to do is just follow up to make sure that you are, that's part of that qualification. So,
Hey, can I intercept for a minute?
yeah,
So when I do that with Steve and Gina, I actually already have my person on the phone
right
to make sure, and I know you do that too,
on.
have them on the line, and then and like you said, I love confirming that we're going to be on that Zoom or that call 30 minutes ahead maybe, but confirming it and then having them on so that when I get Gina and Steve, yep, we've already got the person on board.
Perfect. So we'll give some verbiage here. Absolutely. Okay, so here's my phone. I should have got like I should have bought a prop with like a phone, like a cheap phone, one of the big ones, like the old days. Um, okay, so I'm calling. I already have my friend on the phone, And I'm like so excited that I'm getting together with this call with you today, Zoe. I'm about to merge in my friend Cindy, and we're really excited to speak with you today. She's going to answer your phone. Excuse me. She's going to answer all of your questions. And you and I have already gone over all of the different packs. So she might go over those again, but I just wanted you to know I already sent you the visual so that way you can see them. And at the end, we'll go ahead and get you started. How does that sound? Okay, great. Okay, so I'm merging in Cindy. Hi, Cindy, it's Linda. How are you today?
Hey, Linda, I'm doing great.
I am so excited that we could schedule our time together today. I know how busy you are. I know my friend Zoe, she's busy. So I'm really we're all respectful of each other's time today and so excited. So again, I wanted to give you a little background again on Zoe. Zoe has a law degree and she's been in practice for a long time and she's transitioning to different parts of her practice. But she's very excited about knowing a little bit more about what we have in our hands. She has already looked at This Is It info, and I'm so excited that you're able to share some information with her. And then Zoe, I just want to make sure I want to remind you about my friend Cindy. Cindy has been doing this business with me and alongside me for a little bit longer than I have. So she's a little bit more familiar with how these patches work, and also she's incredibly successful with this business opportunity. So Zoe, I'm going to mute my line so I can just listen in, and I know she's going to be able to do a great job with you today. So Zoe, this is Cindy. Cindy, this is Zoe.
Yeah, I love it. So
Um,
when Zoe and I are meeting each other, I'm like, hey, Zoe, it's so great to meet you. I can't wait to meet you in person. And I'm just honored that we get to start a relationship today. And I know you've got some questions that um, Linda wanted me to help direct your answers to. So I would ask her questions and then I would do my best to answer. Many times when I'm answering them, because she's already looked at the info site, if it has something to do with the technology and the info, I'm going to probably take her back for answers to a video. I promise you that's probably what I'm going to do because I want her to see that it is that simple. I'm also going to take this patch and I'm going to simplify it the best I can. And today, what I do versus what I did 3 years ago is day and night. So I want you all to hear me on this. I keep it so simple today. And even though, I know there's so much science behind this patch, Zoe, I know that if I get all sciency with you, you won't be able to remember a thing I said. It doesn't really matter what our level of education is. We just want to know, will this patch help me? Can I get a testimony possibly? And I want you to know, I believe you can, because after 3 years, I have seen so many incredible things. And what I do every single day, I peel this sticker and I place it right on my body anywhere I want. The case studies, they put it be the base of the neck or under the belly button, but I wear this patch for 12 hours. I make sure I stay well hydrated because water, fluids are really important for our bodies. And as you first start wearing this patch, you might start shoving out some of those old cells because we're all hoarding things and we want to stay hydrated. And I think that's probably one thing we don't focus on enough. So I love that since we started wearing the patch, I've always got a big old cup of water beside me and I'm drinking away all day long. And I think it's probably made a difference in my skin along with the patch. So I'm just excited for you to be able to get started. I've had testimonies of sleeping better, mental clarity. My husband had energy. These are the basic testimonies, the basic benefits that people get, but we never know who's going to get what when. I got my testimonies began on the first 24 hours, but my baby sister didn't get her first testimony for 6 weeks. My husband had a testimony at 3 weeks and 5 weeks, but he didn't know it. It was pointed out to him by his dentist. And as he realized, his gums looked like they were improving, and that was pretty amazing at his age in his late 60s then. And the other thing is, we neither one have dental sensitivity anymore, which to us, we could shout off the roof. So there's so many different things that can happen that you may or may not recognize right away. But I just encourage you, get your enrollment form filled out tonight before you lay your head on the pillow. You are with an amazing, amazing upline in Linda Somersall. She and Paul are just beautiful people, and they are going to help guide you to be successful. And I just encourage you, fill out the enrollment form, figure out which package is best for you. That's how we all start. You can always upgrade from the lowest to the middle to the highest, or you can start with the highest. It's whatever your budget allows. And I don't always talk this much, y'all. I'm doing it because I don't have Zoe to respond to me. So I'm acting like, we're having a communication back and forth. But I usually stop and ask a question or answer her questions. But I just want her to know, do just get your patches and get started. But you have to understand, if you don't realize it, every person needs this patch and no one knows about it. And you are holding the Holy Grail in your hands. So I challenge you right now, as you get enrolled, take your excitement and just go tell other people right now about this patch, because Linda's going to be there to help you. We're going to be there. And the Zooms that we offer through This Is It Team take place every day live, or you can watch recorded. And if I'm going to bounce over here to the chat. I struggle to get people to do the three-way because I'm pretty good salesperson naturally. My enthusiasm gets them, but I know how important the three-way is for that person. I think that's a really good point, Lila and Joe. And I want to address that kind of right here in the middle of it, because everybody doesn't need a three-way or a Zoom in the beginning. Linda was using the example of someone like Zoe who was making her decision to get on, but Linda needed a little boost. And, I'm saying the exact same thing Linda said, or Paul said, or Jenza said, but for some crazy reason, they're like, oh, did you hear what she said? And it's so fun and it's so funny in some ways that they maybe didn't hear it when I said it, but they heard it when Linda said it, or vice versa. And so maybe everybody doesn't need a three-way or a Zoom in the beginning, but at the same time, if you're feeling like it would be a benefit for you to be edified, for you to draw in your upline, just invite them. Just say, oh, I want you to meet one of my really dear friends. I want you to get to know her because I know you're going to meet her at some point. And whether it's Linda or myself or anybody other leader on this call right now or on the team, they just love to get to know the people on their team. So this is not to be like an hour call. Just say, will you do you have 10 or 15 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it takes. Sometimes I do 5-minute calls. Sometimes they do go into a half an hour, if it's a husband and wife and whatever. But we would just love for you to meet them. And I commend all of you that are excited and are enthusiastic and are able to close the deal. But if you're not, don't beat yourself up. Keep practicing and allow us to come in. One of our new brand partners, I said, if you do a couple of Zooms with us, because he was kind of like, I'm just not sure I'm saying it right. I said, you can't say it wrong if they're interested, and you can't say it good enough if they're not. But I said, if you just allow us to be a part of the Zoom with you a few times, it will just become like clockwork for you, because you'll realize we're all saying the same thing. We're not going to put our doctor's hat on and be a doctor. We're just going to help, will this patch work for arthritis? I think it will, because one of the things in the patent is that it helps with inflammation. And the underlying issue for aging and all illness is inflammation. So if you are able to close the deal, that's incredible. Don't worry if you haven't had to use three-way or Zoom to get people gone. But maybe the greater challenge is to help them go manager. in the first week or the first 2 weeks or the first 4 weeks. So wouldn't you address that too, Linda? That, there's different places we might be needed and we're not needed for everything. And we don't have to meet everybody as soon as they get on board. We'll meet them at convention and at team Zooms and things like that.
Yes, I definitely love that. Joe and Lila were asking these questions. Like, first of all, how do you get them on a Zoom or how do you get them to a three-way call? It's really different if it's somebody, if it's a prospect for somebody who just you feel like you need the support, or even if you don't, because I know, Lila, you have great skills, you have great enthusiasm, and but I also believe the reason why we should just do it more often is to show that person the duplicatable system that we have and the support. So that way, just like Cindy said, you can be edified to their person as well by you showing them how to do it. So a lot of times for me to get somebody on a call with a three-way call, I'll say, I would love for you to, I know you're making the decision. I would really love for you to meet my friend Cindy. She has an amazing story. Or she has an amazing testimonial. She's really successful, and I might just say a little bit. And if they say, no, I'm good, I'll just rather just talk to you because there's a lot of skeptical people out there. I say, no problem. I'm sure you'll get to meet her. You're going to love her story when you get to meet her. So I'm not making it sound like it's the car salesman sitting up at the ivory tower where they're going to come on and give you a hard sell. It's my friend Cindy. I would love for you to hear her story. That is my verbiage that I usually typically use because it just takes away the icky salesy-ish closing me feel.
Yeah.
And then the other part is our enthusiasm should be there. But I also know with our team, if they've told me I've talked to 37 people on my list and I haven't enrolled anybody, I say, okay, let's slow the roll. You got to tell me your verbiage. Let's go over some of the things you're saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a matter of saying you're just saying too many things. Try to make it super simple. And but then you may want to bring in somebody. So that way, let's hear what you're saying, and then let me give you verbiage of how maybe you can introduce either your support person or myself or Cindy or whoever would be the best fit. And that's going to be a way for you to learn how to navigate a conversation that you're prospecting. So that's prospecting. There might be, how about we do a welcome call with my friend Cindy? She's very successful. I would love for you to hear her story. It's pretty much the same thing, but sometimes it's great when you can introduce one of your support people to just a welcome call. And later on, it could be a strategy call where they just want to learn and understand a little bit more. That's a great way to be able to get on and introduce your upline as well. So it's all about relationships. That's what this business is, relationship marketing, right? We're not about closing and hammering people. We're about building trust and being likable and being out there sharing authentically. So I hope that helped.
And Linda, I love the way you say it, And I think the other thing that was coming to my mind as you were sharing is that sometimes, most of the time, we all have a weakness. It's like someone's strength might be our weakness, and that's where, oh my gosh, Linda can do this so good, and I'm a little weaker in that. I'm in a teamwork with Linda on such and such, right? Well, that's kind of where we can come into play too, because I know that I've recognized and everybody just about, let me say just about everybody might start in the place that you've got a weakness and you don't want to, maybe the weakness has to do with closing, getting them, hey, it's a 30-day money back guarantee, it's no risk, but don't expect to get all your testimony in 30 days or on one patch. We want to help them understand. So maybe you're needing a little bit more, like Linda's saying, a little more, guidance and how to move through that. I know another biggie. One is trying to get them closed, and we get nervous. Maybe we talk too much, but maybe the other one is you're not certain how to let them know this is not just about health. This is a financial freedom opportunity, and we want everybody to know. When we first got on board, Jen's asked, is there money to be made here? I wasn't thinking about the money. I was thinking about the health. Well, that was to the detriment of me because that was where my mind was. And
Mhm.
so I had to practice and learn, practice and learn. I promise you, every one of us, including Steve and Gina Merritt, are doing that every day, every week. So, we're not, none of us perfect at it, right? And we all blend so well together as a team. And so if it's that you're struggling to, let them know there is a lot of money to be made here, not just to pay for your package. There's a lot of money. You're going to see it next level. There are a lot of people in the last 3 years just on our team, which has taken the company to number one, that have surpassed $1 million of income. That to me is a really, really big deal because families are struggling today, wanting to know, Lord, how can I get debt free? And they don't know the solution to the problem. We are those messengers of hope. We're carrying that to them. So, whatever it might be the weakness, and maybe you talk too much. Maybe it's something that crazy, right? Like we all do that when we get nervous. Maybe if you feel like you talk too much, you talk them in and you talk them out. Linda, you kind of hit on that a minute ago. Then maybe that's where we do a Zoom so you can kind of see Linda in action and how she's like, oh, boom, to boom, to boom. Okay, let's get you going and let's get you enrolled now. Fill out the form, get it back to get Zoe, get your form back to Linda. Let's get that done right now. Your position is valuable to you, but you don't know that right now. So I want you to know that you couldn't have a better person inviting you on this Zoom. You've got the best technology ever and the best team and the best company. Let's get your position now. And in a few weeks to months, as you begin to see what this value of this position is, you're going to be so excited that you came on board when you did and you didn't wait longer. So I don't know. I think that that's kind of, everybody's got a different weakness. Lindy, do you
Well,
want to add anything else on coming after that?
just a couple of quick things that I was thinking of when you were speaking to. So there's two things. First of all, always make the call about that person and listen to their questions. That way you can direct that conversation. And I like to always say, instead of, and this is for me because I don't have a sales background. My husband had a sales background and a military background. And so I, in my head, had to pivot the way I think about it, about closing. And the way I got out of my head about closing was, all right, so I would love to show you how to get your patches. How does that sound? And I always usually say, how does that sound? And did Mary go over all the packs with you already? And if they say no, I say, oh, great. Is it okay if I take one more minute and just tell you how to get your patches and what they cost? I'm not afraid to ask that because I look at our enrollment form as a menu. It's not like you're going to go in a restaurant and the waitress is going to be shy about telling you what's on the menu and how much it costs. They hand it to you, you decide what you want on the menu, and you order it, and it comes to you. So I have to think that way instead of feeling like this is sales. Yes, it is sales, but you don't have to be salesy. You don't have to be in your head salesy. So I always say, so out of those packs, which one sounds like the right fit for you?
Yes.
And I'm going to ask them those questions. I am, if you're afraid to ask that, then make sure you get us on those calls because we're not. And it's only because we ask those questions. And I have it in my head that, I want them to get their patches. This is how you get them. And then the other thing, if what's holding up people from sharing the opportunity is you're not making a lot of money yet. Everybody starts with that very first cycle, including Steve and Gina.
Yep.
And we celebrate every $50
Yep.
for sure. And we never take any penny lightly. So it's really about your vision. From day one, when we saw this, and I thought, oh my gosh, what if this helps so and so? And babe, what if this helped you? I mean, I seriously was in my head thinking, oh my gosh, this is so special. What if this helps? And I really thought this could be huge. So if you don't feel that way, then you have to like just work on your own belief system because that will come across in your call. And if you've been wearing the patches a couple years or a year and feel like you're not where you are, financially or in your business or some of your team members, I think everybody feels that no matter what position they're in. I think there's always room for that. So don't get on yourself about that. Bring somebody in to help you with that for sure. And that's where we're going to edify you, get excited for that person. We're going to cheer you on. We're going to just say how amazing to have your friend on that call, and they could not be with a better person than you. And we so mean that because you're taking the time to get somebody on a three-way call. That means you see how great this business is, and we want to see you continually succeed. So the more opportunity you get to bring a support person in, the odds are in your favor that that person, I mean, when I have somebody on the phone, I filled out their name before I got on the phone with them. I was already starting to fill it out. That is by faith. And I always talk to them when you get your patches, even before they said, I'm ready. I said, well, when you get your patches, it's going to take a few days. I can't wait to hear your testimony. I talk faith into them that they're already joining us
Yeah.
and we're going to be friends and let's get on a three-way message after this so we can keep in touch. It doesn't end at that call. That's how I feel. So I hope that helped.
Yeah, that is so good, Linda. And I want to say too, like sometimes, we try to make certain that we're cheerleaders. But I heard Gina say this the other day and it kind of hit me. And I thought, yeah, this is something we need to all hear. We're not making like a girls' club or whatever. Now, these are friendships, these are relationships, but yet we don't lose sight of the reason they came on board and the blessing that lies out there in front of each one of us, and how many more of those couples, women, husbands, men, whatever, are looking for us to show up. So, and I think a lot of what we've said, is just about being able to strengthen each person's own confidence. We all have to go that journey. And I love what you said, Linda, about the belief, because we do need to constantly work, all of us, work on ourselves to believe better in ourselves, believe better in what we're doing, because if we are not feeling that way, then the people we're talking with will definitely not believe and want to get in. So thank you all so much for allowing us this tonight. And I want to bring up one more slide before we close. Um, Right now at 8 o'clock, we have a Zoom going on for This Is It Team. Go to YouTube and click on This Is It Team. And you are going to be able to see Dr. Larry and Leslie present. They're friends of Gene and Steve's. They've known them for years. And they will be doing tonight's Zoom at 8, then a motivational message. And then at 10, it's live Eastern Standard Time, or then it's recorded if you don't get to finish it or you don't have time tonight. That is what's so wonderful. The more Zooms we watch as we do our week, we are able to just hear other people talk. And that's such a confidence builder, because you'll hear when Linda and Paul do a Zoom, you're hearing how they share and what they say, and it makes all the difference in the world. I also want to say, if you are not enrolled for Next Level, we've been working on it. It's going to be powerful. Linda's got a little insight, and I'm telling you, you have got to get yourself there, one way or the other, whether it be in person or virtual. In person's always better, but it is going to be huge. So I just encourage each and every one of you, make certain if there is something in this opportunity, even if you're brand new tonight, that you see that you would like a piece of that, the most important thing you could do is be a part of the Next Level convention, because what you can get from the convention training is going to save you about a year and a lot of challenges to get where you can go that you may not even know yet. So you all are so welcome. God bless you all. I will be posting this on our site shortly. And thank you ever so much, Linda. You are amazing. I love you. And I just love your spirit. And that's the other thing I was going to bring up. Make certain, where, like Linda said, the salesy stuff, keep the passion in your heart and let them feel the excitement and the passion and the joy for where you are right now, that they can be too. So God bless you all. Thank you again, Linda. Love you all. Have an amazing rest of your week and see you on the 8 o'clock Zoom.